Okay, thank you, Lincoln. Good evening, everyone. Tonight is Wednesday, January 21st, 7 p.m. Let's get started with roll call. Kelly Lynn, can you please help us?
Mr. Andreessen?
Hello.
Mrs. Briscoe?
Here.
Mr. Bush?
Here.
Mrs. McMillan?
Here.
Mrs. Ost?
Here.
Mrs. Tunney?
Here.
Mrs. Linsky?
Here.
Okay, stand for Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have some guests tonight. Kristen, would you like to introduce our people?
Yes, but I'm going to turn it over to Mr. McAtee. So I'll
Even better.
introduce Mr. McAtee
Hey,
to
Dave.
introduce our guests who are here tonight for the Student Spotlight.
Thank you.
It's a whole different view from out there. So it's this is one of my favorite nights, being here to talk about our DARE program and to introduce a couple of our wonderful students. Just the elevator speech for the DARE program. It's a 10-week program with Officer Tom. Couple different things that the students are working on. They're given factual information about drugs and alcohol, how those drugs and those things affect their lives. Factual information. You know, there's a lot of stuff out there that they talk about, so it's nice that we have time to give them accurate information. Officer Tom teaches them how to resist those. Peer pressure is huge at this age, so having those tools, those strategies to resist is a spectacular thing. And then they go through a decision-making model. And it's the model that they can use throughout the rest of their lives. It's a wonderful thing, and wrap all of that up into spending 10 weeks with Tom, creating those memories and just building those relationships, you know, allowing our students to interact with, you know, our first responders, our law enforcement at a different level. It's just a great thing for all of our kiddos. At the end of the program, we ask our students to write an essay reflecting on the 10 weeks and just sharing with us what they learned. Every student does it, all 176 students. We narrow it down. We come up with one classroom winner, and then out of our classroom winners, we come up with our 2 school-wide winners. So I am pleased to announce our 2 school-wide winners, Kaylee Hickey and Claire McCarthy. If you guys could come up now, please. They are here tonight, and they're going to share their essays with all of us.
One small decision can change the rest of your life, and DARE taught me how to make the right ones. DARE stands for Drug Abuse Resistance Education. The program was started in 1983 by Chief Daryl Gates in Los Angeles, California, as a school program to teach students from kindergarten through 12th grade about the dangers of substance abuse. Over time, the program has grown to focus on not only avoiding drugs and alcohol, but also on building confidence, strengthening decision-making skills, and helping students stay true to their values when life becomes challenging. These lessons will help guide me throughout my life. In this essay, I will share the most important skills I learned from DARE, including how to resist pressure, make smart decisions, and manage stress in healthy and positive ways. To begin, from the DARE program, I learned how to handle and resist peer pressure, make safe and responsible choices, and manage stress in ways that keep me calm and in control. Peer pressure is something like kids like myself face every day. But DARE taught me that just because someone wants me to do something, it doesn't mean I have to do it. I learned strategies such as saying no confidently, walking away, or suggesting a safer and better idea. DARE also showed me that making responsible choices begins with thinking ahead and understanding how my actions can shape my future. Every good choice I make shows others that I can be trusted to do what is right. Another important lesson I learned was how to handle stress by slowing down, taking deep breaths, and talking to someone I trust, or taking a break when I start to feel overwhelmed. These skills make me feel more prepared to face challenges and make positive decisions even when the situation is difficult. Next, one of the most powerful tools I learned in DARE is the DARE decision-making model, which stands for Define, Assess, Respond, and Evaluate. This model helps me look at problems or tough situations step by step so I don't react too quickly or let my emotions take over. First, I define the problem so I understand what is really happening. Then, I assess my choices and think through the possible outcomes. After that, I respond by making the safest and smartest decision. Finally, I evaluate my choice to decide whether it was the best one or if I should do something different next time. This model will help me throughout my life, whether I'm faced with pressure, conflict, or confusing situations. It is a tool I know I will use to stay safe, confident, and responsible as I grow older. In conclusion, DARE has inspired me to be responsible, brave, and true to myself. The program taught me how to resist pressure, make smart choices, and manage stress in healthy ways. I'm grateful for these lessons, and I know they will guide me through the challenges I will face as I get older. With the DARE decision-making model and the skills I have gained, I feel confident and ready to be a leader who chooses courage over pressure. Because of DARE, I am prepared to say yes to a safer, brighter future one smart decision at a time.
Learning to say no can change your life. In the DARE program, we learn how to do this and more. The DARE program is 10 weeks of lessons to help deal with situations you might end up in throughout your life. This program started in Los Angeles in 1983. Daryl Gates, the chief of LAPD, started this program when the number of arrests for child drug take were increasing. He wanted to inform kids about ways to avoid getting in trouble. This program will continue throughout the years to provide information on how to make safe and responsible choices. After taking this program, I now get to tell you about what I took away from it. Throughout our journey in the DARE program, we learned lots of ways to avoid situations that may occur in our everyday lives that can make us feel many emotions that we may not want to feel. Some topics consisted of confident communication, risky situations, peer pressure, signs of stress, safe and responsible choices, DARE rules, and many more. All of these lessons we learn will help us out in the future. For example, when we learned about drugs, alcohol, and smoking, we got to figure out what the outcome was. By taking tobacco, even drinking alcohol, there can be many negative consequences. In the DARE program, we learned some of the outcomes of doing these things. We learned that because of drinking alcohol, some effects may consist of memory loss, slow reflexes, loss of self-control, and many more. As for tobacco usage, it can cause dry skin and wrinkles, turn your teeth yellow, and cause bad breath, lung cancer, tooth loss, and also heart diseases. This is why it is so very important to be aware of what the impact of your choices are, to see what path it may lead you down and cause you to think twice about making that choice. Have you ever been in a situation where you may have felt embarrassed, stressed, uncomfortable, even bullied? Well, the DARE decision-making model can help you cope with these emotions. The DARE decision-making model is 4 steps to deciding how you respond to a situation. Also, it is what the word DARE stands for in this program. The first letter in the word DARE is the D. In this case, it will stand for define. When you find yourself in a bad situation, before responding, use the define step to locate the problem or challenge that is going on. Next, the A stands for assess. After you figure out what is going on in your problem, use the assess step to figure out what your choices are and the consequences of each action. Then comes the R. This stands for respond. After all the information you gather, now it is time to respond to the situation. Last but certainly not least is the E. This letter stands for evaluate. After using your knowledge to respond to a situation, we use the evaluate step to review the decision we have made. Finally, we think about the choice we made to respond to our problem and if it was a good one. Whenever you're feeling stuck in a situation you don't want to be in, there may be hundreds of things you can do that can possibly help you. Though the best thing that you can do in these situations would be to use the DARE making decision model. By taking some time to use these 4 steps, you can escape any situation you find yourself in. You only learn DARE in 5th grade, but you will use everything you learned throughout the lessons your whole life. The DARE program provided many lessons for us to learn about. All of them are very important to me in many ways, though there are a couple that I think will stick with me the most. One was the 5 W's of reporting bullying. In this lesson, we learn how to responsibly report bullying by using the 5 W's of bullying: who, what, when, where, and why. If you see someone getting bullied, think about these things. Identify who's getting bullied, what they're getting bullied about, when it's happening, where it's happening, and why it's happening. Another one I learned was responding to peer pressure. In this lesson, we learn about peer pressure. This is when someone about your age tries to convince you to do something you most likely don't want to do. Some ways to avoid this can be to make up an excuse, talk to a trusted adult for advice, or just simply walk away. Finally, I learned about the help network. In this lesson, we learn about a help network. A help network is a group of people who you trust, feel comfortable around, and love by. Whether it's family or friends, making a help network can make it much easier to know who to talk to when you seek help. After my journey throughout DARE, I learned there are 2 paths to go down, and I choose the good one.
Aren't they good? Tremendous writers. Thank you for being here, guys, tonight. Come on back up. David.
We wanted to share some nice things with you guys. If your parents would like to take some pictures, they're welcome to do that too. Congratulations. Very, very nicely done and great presentation, not only here, but at the DARE performance as well. There you go too, my friend.
Thank you.
And thank you for helping us get started.
We're gonna get a quick picture.
Yeah. We'll just set it down. All the parents come? Yes. Congratulations. Thank you very much. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much for coming. Nicely done. I did not receive any tags for public communication. Were there any that maybe didn't find them to me? Okay, moving on. Any staff communication? MTA? Understood. Hey, that's important too. That's fine. MCSA, anyone? Okay, just checking. Okay, moving on to action requests. We're going to start with the minutes from last month. Would anyone like to start us off? Thank you, Anna. Seconded by Julie. Questions, concerns? Go ahead.
Okay, I just want to say, the reason that I am not going to approve these is because, I hope we could get to the point where we are providing a summary of the discussion items in the minutes and not just simply stating that discussion was had. The intention being that the minutes are the public record and the public should be able to see what the discussion was that was had, not just that discussion was had. So for that reason, I will be voting no.
Okay. Anyone else? Hearing none. Roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Briscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Bush?
Yes.
Mrs. McMillan? Mrs. Post?
Yes.
Mrs. Tunney?
Yes.
Mrs. Zelinski?
Yes.
Mr. Andreessen?
Yes. Julie, how were the bills this month? Were they exciting?
They were riveting.
I knew you were going to use that word. I knew it.
I move to approve the monthly bills as presented.
I'll second. Questions or concerns?
Yes.
Go ahead.
So right now, we have a process that one board member is tasked with reviewing the bills more in-depth than for the month. So one board member out of 7 is tasked with that, and we do a rotation. It's my impression that the expectation is that questions only come from one board member. So I think that it would be helpful that the other board members have no insight into the questions that were asked and answered by the board member that was tasked with that month in the rotation. So I think it would be helpful for whoever is in the rotation to share some synopsis of what was asked and answered so that the board member that is reviewing the bills is not the only one receiving that information. Can we do that?
I reviewed the bills this month and I have sent emails to that effect in the past when I've gotten the bills, and I'd be happy as one board member to do that again. I met with Mr. Gurney and Dr. Shaw to discuss some of the items that when you look at the bills, it's very black and white on what the percentage of the budget is being used. So I asked some general questions about items that appeared to be over budget with 6 months remaining, whether we have enough funds to cover those types of bills, like software and professional development, just trying to make sure that that staff has what they need. And so we talked through some of that. See, I had some issues that to talk about in special services or student services, excuse me. That one is always very hard to budget for because you just don't know where the funds will be going. So we saw some that were well under 100, some that were over, and just trying to get an assessment of that. And then we ran through some of the projects that were open just to ensure that the projects were moving forward and within the approved budget that the board had previously looked at. That's kind of a quick run through of what I did, and I'd be happy to put that in an email next time I have the bills.
Thank you. So just real quick on the projects, you mean Fund 21? Or,
Well, they would most likely be in Fund 21. They were on pages 37 through 41.
okay. Yeah, I think it would be useful, especially if, the expectation is that questions are only coming from one board member, that the board member tasked with reviewing the bills share the information that they gather in that task. That's my only comment.
Any other questions, concerns? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mr. Bush?
Yes.
Mrs. McMillan?
Yes.
Mrs. Ost? Yes. Mrs. Tenney? Mrs. Zelinski? Mr. Andreessen?
Yes.
Mrs. Briscoe?
Personnel report.
I move to approve personnel recommendations 6C 1 through 5 as presented, subject to successful background check and verification of credentials if applicable.
Questions, concerns? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mrs. McMillan?
Yes.
Mrs. Ost?
Yes.
Mrs. Tenney?
Yes.
Mrs. Zelinski?
Yes.
Mr. Andreessen?
Yes.
Mrs. Briscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Bush?
Yes.
Consent agenda.
I move to approve the 2026 summer hours as presented.
Second by Anna, questions or concerns? Hearing none,
I'm sorry.
go ahead.
Should the motion be the summer hours or should it be the consent agenda?
It could be either.
Okay.
Any other questions or concerns? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mrs. Ost?
Yes.
Mrs. Tenney?
Yes.
Mrs. Zelinski?
Yes.
Mr. Andreessen?
Yes,
Mrs. Briscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Bush?
Yes.
Mrs. McMillan?
Yes.
thank you. Window blinds.
I move that the board award the bid for the window blinds replacement project to the lowest bidder, Cyper Construction, for a total contract amount not to exceed $136,400.
Seconded by Lisa. Questions, concerns?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I just asked that next time if we could get, on these project, action items, if we could get like a detail on what other fees will be incurred on this project, because right now the board is going to approve the contract to the contractor, but that is not the total amount that needs to be spent on this. So if we could get on the action item, a line item for what the engineering and architect or other ancillary, things that are allocated with this on there, that would be good, I think, to see. Thank you.
Anyone else? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mrs. Tenney?
Yes.
Mrs. Zelinski?
Yes.
Mr. Andreessen?
Yes,
Mrs. Briscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Bush?
Yes.
Mrs. McMillan?
Yes.
Mrs. Ost?
Yes.
annual list of depositories and investment manager.
I move to approve the district's annual list of depositories and investment managers.
Second. Questions, concerns? Go ahead.
So I spoke with Mr. Gurney on this. I have a couple hesitations. One is the policy itself states that the selection, if you will be based on a number of criteria identified in the policy, but some of the questions asked by board members, I don't know if it was only me or if there was other board members that asked the same, was how did we review and establish this criteria to be able to select these vendors, Midland States Bank and the PTMA Financial Solutions. And it doesn't appear that we have gone through that exercise in potentially quite some time. So, I would look to get that information and potentially, do a periodic, whether it be every 3 years, every 5 years, have some type of schedule where we're evaluating alternatives and making sure that, there's no big changes with these vendors rather than, having it go on so long that we, are under a verbal agreement and a contract that's, over 10 years old. So for that reason, hopefully next year, over the next 12 months, we can get more information on the criteria outlined in the policy for these vendors.
Thank you. Any other questions? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mrs. Zelinski,
Yes.
Mr. Andreessen.
Yes.
Mrs. Briscoe. Mr. Bush. Mrs. McMillan.
No,
Mrs. Ost.
Yes.
Mrs. Tony.
Yes.
Thank you. Press policy update 120. Julie, this has got you all over.
I move to approve the press policy revisions as presented.
Thank you. Questions, concerns? Go ahead.
okay, so I spoke with Mr. Gurney about this as well. This has been a theme, if you will, for since I've been on the board, is trying to not only have the board establish policy, but also somehow confirm or get some kind of confirmation that the policies are being implemented and how we're doing them. And part of the vision, I think, of the policy committee was to do some of that work and provide some of that information to the board outside of this meeting, to where we can understand how our policies are being implemented. And most specifically in this regard is changes to the policies and how those will be implemented. And, we've established a policy committee. We've had no meetings with the policy committee for whatever reason, and we're not doing that. So, I still am sitting here with no real understanding on how we're implementing these policies. If we are implementing everything we need to be, I assume that we are, but I don't know that. And then how we're able to modify, or what we're having to modify to be able to comply with. This is a substantial amount of changes to our policies. So the board has not had those discussions. I hope that we can get back to having policy committee meetings to where we can learn that. Thank you.
Sure, I'll go. So is there a specific policy that you're referring to that you have a concern with, that you're not sure is being implemented, how it's being implemented? Is there a specific policy that you're looking at?
I would say all of them.
So I
would ask the question on all of them.
well, I think that that's a bit unfair to make a blanket statement without any specifics saying what is the issue. We have all of these policies and they're being implemented. Now, I had mentioned in a previous meeting that Mr. Gurney and I have met, and we all agreed that we were going to meet and then establish a review process for implementing press. I specifically also noted that any issues, or policy revisions that have a deadline, we make sure that if there is a deadline, that we are noting it and not running afoul of that new deadline, or we would call that out, saying we wouldn't be able to hit a deadline. I can't give an example right now, but I don't think it's fair to make a blanket statement that we're not doing what we should be doing. Now, do I wish we had more policy meetings? Yeah, I do, but I also have to respect Mr. Gurney's priorities too. He's only has so much time in a day, and to do an audit of all of our policies and all of the deadlines and ensure that, that jumps ahead of handling other issues, I have to defer. And I think that's something that we can certainly work on. I will it's the will of the board, and I am happy to put in the additional effort to help with that audit.
So sorry, I specifically said, I'm assuming, I did not say that we're not doing what we should be doing. I'm assuming that we are. So if that's not, maybe you heard wrong, but that's not what I said. I
Okay.
said, I assume we are doing everything we need to be doing, but I don't know that. And part of what the policy committee was, I thought the vision was to have the board members sit down with the administration and see that we are doing it. And I'm not talking about implementing policy. I'm talking about, I'm not saying adopt policy. I know we're adopting it, but is it happening? Are we executing it? That's what I'm talking about. And that's what we're not spending time doing. And maybe you are, but again, maybe that needs to be communicated and shared with the rest of the board members, because we have no insight. I have no insight into, and I don't need to tell you, oh, read this and tell me how we're doing this. I mean, it's all of it. I have no insight into how any of this is being executed. So that's not to say it's not. You understand? So for that reason, I would hope that we could get to a place where either we are a part of that in the policy committee, or the information is relayed to us before we are set to approve these changes, before the action.
Well, the one thing I will share is this is the official Illinois Association of School Boards policy procedure that we subscribe to. The information, they had a meeting in November that was shared prior to the meeting. The points on here have been reviewed. They're ready to be enacted by their deadlines. That being said, there's a motion on the floor. And unless there's further discussion, then I say call the vote. Hearing none. Kelly Lynn, can you please help us?
Mr. Andreessen?
Yes.
Mrs. Briscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Bush?
Yes.
Mrs. McMillan?
No.
Mrs. Ost?
Yes.
Mrs. Tunney?
Yes.
Mrs. Zelinski?
Yes.
Thank you. Who would like the next one?
I move to approve the resolution abating the working cash fund.
Second.
Second by Julie. Thank you. Questions or concerns?
Yes.
Go ahead.
So this specific fund, for those that, as a reminder, I'll say, is one that was identified by our auditors in our audit for the past, I believe, 3 fiscal years. And one that they had identified, we are in a deficit and we're not budgeting enough. So I just want to clarify that this transfer will help alleviate some of that that deficit for this year. But it's my understanding that we're not going to fix the problem, right? That's identified in the audit. So I hope that we will continue to take the measures that we don't have a deficit in Fund 50 as soon as possible.
Anyone else? Kelly Lynn, please help us with roll call vote.
Mrs. Briscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Bush?
Yes.
Mrs. McMillan?
Yes.
Mrs. Ost?
Yes.
Mrs. Tunney?
Yes.
Mrs. Zelinski?
Yes.
Mr. Andreessen?
Yes. I move to approve the continuation of District 843 services as described for the 2025-2026 school year. Second by Lisa. Questions or concerns?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I just want to make note that, I don't know if everybody knows this. I think so, but I'm not sure. I did speak with Mr. Gurney about this, and he filled me in that there was a thorough review of this contract a couple years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, that they did sit and evaluate if there's alternatives and what that would look like. So I feel comfortable that that was at least investigated at a deeper level within the past couple of years. So thank you for that.
Other questions of Mr. Hearing none, Kelly Lynn, please help us.
Mr. Bush,
Yes.
Mrs. McMillan,
Yes.
Mrs. Ost, Mrs. Tunney,
Yes.
Mrs. Zelinski, Mr. Andreessen,
Yes.
Mrs. Briscoe.
Okay. For information, Sam, would you like to share anything regarding the Finance Committee?
Well, now I just have a bunch.
You're live, go ahead.
Okay. All right. Our next meeting, if I'm looking at this right, is March 9th, in where we will do the, stop me if I'm wrong at all, 5-year financial projections, Fund 21 report, capital plan, and student fees. Right. That is also where anyone that is interested in doing the finance committee community seats will come to watch and see how the meeting goes, right? Okay. Anything I'm leaving out?
We'll have the architect and present also, and also our roofing contractor to talk about the roofing work for this summer.
That too. That's true. Go ahead, Eric.
No, we should just share. I think either Mr. Gurney or Dr. Shaw, can you please share with the community where they can find the application for there's links in various spots there. So I just want to, I can't speak to all of them, but I know that there's plenty.
Sure. We put out the monthly newsletter just this afternoon, and within there, under the business portion of the monthly newsletter, you'll find Dr. Shaw's kind of Google form to fill out if you're interested in being part of the finance committee. Ms. Tunney had actually worked with her on approving that, and we're excited to see those people that are interested in being part of that.
When is that? When do they need to be submitted by? Do we have a deadline?
Well, we're shooting for the 1st of March, so by March 9th. Yeah, that's a really good question, Kelly. We should have put down there submission due by March 1st. So thank you for pointing that out. So we'll have a week to make sure that we contact everyone.
Can we send that out to parents? I mean, can we just send that out and then put that deadline on so it's like a separate email instead of like just in the not to say the newsletter wouldn't be sufficient, but then, if you're going to add a deadline, then maybe you can do just a mass email.
We can add a reminder in the February newsletter and put that right then at that point.
Oh, okay. 'Cause
Yeah,
you'll do
so we'll have time.
February.
Yeah, mid-February or so.
But they'll be after.
The deadline, if it's March 1st,
Oh,
mid,
March 1st. Sorry. Thank
yeah,
you.
so it'll give them about 5 or 6 weeks.
I was thinking 10 days.
It's all good. It's all good.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Julie, anything you'd like to share tonight on the policy committee?
I'll look to send out proposed dates with posted that way.
Okay.
Excuse me. I had one more thing for the finance committee meeting. Can we, what is the protocol for getting the information that will be reviewed in that meeting? It's a hefty, as Sam pointed out, it's a hefty agenda here. And so I'm just concerned on, the timing of questions and when will the materials be distributed? Do we have any kind of timeline on that?
Very similar to what we've done in the recent funding.
Okay, so we should submit our questions. What's the process for board members to submit their questions in advance of the finance committee?
I don't know how, but I made it work. Okay. So
The Wednesday before the meeting is when the packet will be sent out to the committee members and the entire board. Any questions that you have from that packet need to be submitted by the Monday of the meeting. And then that gives you, Dr. Shaw, time to be able to answer them during the meeting. If any of questions come from the meeting afterwards, that will be submitted after the fact.
I would ask for those questions in advance of Monday if you guys want more time. I'm just thinking out loud, but if that's going to be sufficient time to answer them that night, that seems a little rushed. But, okay, Monday before noon or, okay, Monday before noon.
Mr. Gurney, you submitted your information report. Do you have anything to add to it?
Just a couple of things. I just wanted to thank Dave. Sorry, Lincoln. And I really do appreciate that time. I really, really do. I also wanted to add that this past spring of 2025, the Will County ROE audited our school district. They do that every 4 or 5 years. They had no concerns about the way we're implementing our practices here in Mokena. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Excuse me. I just have one. I should have asked this earlier, and I'm at, you can follow up, Bob.
Sure.
I thought there was something with safety that you were going to be a part of. And so maybe we could talk about that, or you can give us an update on a safety meeting.
Tomorrow, I've got a meeting with the local leaders tomorrow morning.
Oh, it's tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow morning. So I will have an update for you actually Friday. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gurney. Dr. Johnson, do you have anything you'd like to add for your information report?
I just want to expand on the section about state assessments that are up and coming. We've begun the access assessment for our English language learner students. So I do want to say thank you to Ms. Schindler, Ms. Altek-Reedy, and Mrs. Dare for all the time and effort that they're putting in terms of making sure our students are prepared for that assessment. The scheduling that takes place is a big puzzle piece. So I appreciate all the work they do to make this happen for our students. And then in addition to my report, I just wanted to make sure we were all aware that Lincoln Way did send out a welcome email to the class of 2030. So hopefully all of our 8th grade families did receive that on Friday last week. So a lot of good, important information about preparing for high school and to save the date for their open house, which is on February 11th. And then if families do have any specific questions about high school, the high school has asked us to share, please call them. So please call Lincoln Way, as they would have the best information to support families as they make that transition. So exciting time for our 8th graders.
How'd they grow up so fast? Every year graduation, it's like, wait a minute. Okay, thank you very much. Mrs. Munt, do you have anything you would like to add to your report?
Hearing that 2030 graduation year, wow, it took my breath away a little bit. Nothing too exciting to add. Just wanted to draw your attention, as always, to the Student Services shout out. Sweet little faces there participating in Therapeutic Snack. This is something our district started last year and really have expanded. They've got really cute little snacks that they do, and this is just a really great opportunity to learn a lot of different skills and not just have a snack. So take a peek at that. Nothing else to add.
Thank you very much. Dr. Shaw, anything you'd like to add?
I don't really have anything I'd like to add, just, we have the flooring project next month.
Mhm.
We'll bring some bids forth next
Mhm.
month if our public bid openings are successful and project.
Thank you. Lincoln, anything you would like, shout-outs you'd like to make tonight, my friend?
Yes, one of the drawbacks of working for the district office is we seem to be targeted more often than not for phishing attempts. So that leads us to Lisa Peters. Thank you, our real champion for this month. Lisa's done a fantastic job of identifying and reporting everything that has come our way, and for that we really appreciate you. So, nothing further to add.
Good report, and Lisa, congrats on it. That's nice. Nice little trophy and everything. There we go. You all received principals' reports for each of the buildings, so you all received that. Anna, would you like to share anything additional on the Lincoln Way Special Education Report?
No, we have not had our meeting yet, so it'll be next week, and I will report to you next month.
Okay, thank you. We received 3 FOIAs. All have been answered accordingly, so we're good with that. Items for next month's agenda will be the normal February topics, along with things that were in information this month as needed.
Excuse me. Can I comment on this? Items for next month. Bob, there were some people questioning the calendar for next month. So can we just, I think we expect to have a draft of that next month. Is that one of the things that'll be?
Yeah, that's our plan. We've been working closely with the MTA and the MCSA. We appreciate their collaboration, and we're excited to have that as an information item in February.
Okay,
Yep.
perfect. Thank you.
And I know we're also coordinating with Lincoln Way to try to have the breaks and the other things line up as much as possible. I know that's always a frequent question, so I know you're already working on it, but people ask, so you figure like sharing it. Okay, that being said, would anyone like to share something for the good of Mokena? Mr. Bush, you're up.
Okay. So we all saw Officer Tom here. Excuse me. Many people know, how involved he is with their program and things like that, but something people may not understand is that Officer Tom and Mokena Police Department also work with the little ones at MS on learning their address, phone numbers, critical information like that. So, and my daughter is a first grader. I can just say I like to thank him. She came home with a sheet of paper, certificate, because she knew her phone number and address, and you would have thought she won the lottery or Powerball. That piece of paper is proudly displayed in her room. But it is important that, our police department and Officer Tom, they're not just working with our MIS students on DARE program, but they're also working with our littlest ones on learning very important information that is needed in the case of emergency that, a police officer or a first responder might need to know, and for our little ones to know that information is critical. So I just thank the Officer Tom and the police department for all the MES teachers and staff that help out on that too. Thank you for that. That's a very good thing that they're doing.
And to ride on that, I appreciate the traffic control changes that we've made with the left-hand turns and the signage and all the things that, I know it was a collaboration between us and the city, the village, and those signs, I think, make a difference. And everything just seems to be flowing smoother, so I think that's really good, and I really like the way the signs look. So, thank you.
Would you like to share anything about the miracles and the penny ward?
The Debbie. Is Penny Ward information ready yet or no? The Debbie Penny Wars.
It's a wonderful fundraiser. A lot of people in the various schools contributed, and I know it goes to help a lot of families in our community. So thank you for working on that.
Our total
amount raised between MES and MIS was $2,536.24, so $2,536.24. I don't have a final total from MJH, but I know it was over 1,500.
Whoa.
And the winning class, I'll say it's the winner for MIS because Mr. McAfee had OWI, but MDS's winner was kindergarten.
That's a great legacy over there. Kindergarten. Raised over $4,000 to help a good cause. Pretty nice. I like that.
Couple
Okay.
quick things, Jim.
Yeah, go ahead.
Blood drive on February 4th.
Yep. Mhm.
And MIS drawing night on Friday, February 6th.
The 4th, I believe that's at junior.
Yes, it's at the junior high.
Okay. What times?
It's in the afternoon. It starts in the afternoon. It's early release day. And you can sign up online.
Okay.
It's the MIS drawing.
It ends
night.
at 6.
It ends at 6. I don't know the exact start time.
It's 12 or 1.
I
I'm going
think
at
it was
1.
like 1 until early evening, something like that. So 6
Definitely 6
makes
o'clock.
sense.
1 o'clock.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you. You
you.
always got to back me up. Right?
We
We
all got to help each other a little bit. Okay. That's great. Anyone else for Good of Mokena? That being said, do I hear motion to adjourn? By Anna, seconded? By Julie. All those in favor?
Hi.
All those opposed? Good night, everybody. Thank you.